Hi everyone, Deborah Swan here. How's everybody doing today? Okay, I have a lot to share. I've been, for the past couple weeks, trying to decide if I should actually go public with all this. And the more that I reflect and realize that I don't really have any other choice but to go public. When you have this much opposition that I'm kind of used to in my life. Well, actually, I'm used to having this much opposition in my life, but my life matters too, and the truth needs to be told in every area of the situation. So hopefully those of you who don't know me and who have been participating in this operation, you will hear who I am. And hopefully I'll be able to clarify some of the false slander and rumors that have been spread by my sister and others who really, they're my enemies, basically. This is a very deep, detailed situation. The reason why I've decided to go public on the aspect of the involvement referring to Edward Snook, the U.S. Observer, and the FBI, because that is the main source that is affecting my current life and my relationships in my life. I was told in 2013, 2014, directly that Ed Snook was opening up a file against me and that he was going to start working to destroy me. He told me this straight up. So that's why this operation has not gone. For those of you who don't know me and do this for a living, that's why this operation has gone much different than most of your operations probably usually go. Because I was fair warned and I was threatened directly that this was going to happen to me. So when I was told this by Edward Snook and the FBI, when I was told this, ever since then, I mean, what do you do when you're told straight up that you are going to be destroyed by the FBI? What do you do with that? What do you do when you have a journalist who's a grown adult that I was in contact with? Lots of details to the situation, y'all. But the journalist newspaper up in Oregon, Edward Snook, he told me straight up he was going to do whatever he could using his newspaper and the judicial departments to destroy me. So why would these individuals want to destroy me? Like, what did I do? Who deserves that kind of threat and that kind of, backlash? So for those of you who know me, you'll know this is all very familiar to you about this pretty much started. Let me see if I can do this. This is going to be about 3 or 4 parts to this entire story. I hope I can keep your attention. It's quite interesting. We're going to cover from the FBI corruption to the proof of the FBI, what I did, Charles Dyer, my daughter and my family, and the operation that's been going on and all parties involved. I'm going to be covering all of that. It's a lot. But again, I'm concerned with my personal life due to the fact that let me just tell you one of the main reasons why I'm going public right now is because I was told by Edward Snook, and he published in his newspaper back a few years ago, that I was going to be either in prison or he was going to make sure that the whole world knows what a dangerous lunatic that I am, because Ed Snook has been claiming all this time that I am a radical right-wing extremist, that I'm dangerous, I'm a domestic terrorist, all this type of profiling that we see on the news today, that we've been hearing on, all from the news media. they like to call people like conservatives these names, okay? And so my concern is that I have recently, after doing my own investigation on my own life and collecting a lot of information, I have a lot of evidence to prove what's going on with me, y'all. It's overwhelming. And here's an example. In my email account, I have a CNN media the journalist on CNN. I never even knew who this person was before. Her name is Kat Collins. She's been in my email, accessing my private email, going through my emails. Also, an Alabama judge, now these are all Democrats, okay, has also been in my emails. I have a list of Democrats from other states, people I don't even know these people, but they've been going through and accessing my personal private emails, okay? I also have had my neighborhood, my neighbors in my very close proximity. I've got proof from my own security settings of my neighbors across the street accessing my emails, along with about a half a dozen other individuals and more over the past few years who have been sifting through my emails. They've been logging into my emails with my password, going through my emails. So what's going on here? Okay, I've also been surveillanced. I've also been monitored on a daily basis. So much has been going on, y'all. It's crazy. More about that part later. But so why is this happening to me? Why? And it's not just me. It's happening to, I'm sure, many other people. These operations by our intelligence communities have been launched against conservatives for probably many different reasons, and they put certain individuals on a specific list. We've all heard about the lists, right? So if you piss somebody off in the one of these intelligence communities or one of these, the FBI or whatever, if you make somebody angry and they don't arrest you, but you've pissed them off, meaning you've done something by either exposing them and you possibly have made them waste money for part of their funding on an operation, which is what I did. That's what happens. So it's like they have a vendetta and they've put me into this program. I was told this was going to happen. None of this is a surprise to me. So for all of you involved, I know you're never going to admit it. You're never going to admit it. I don't expect you to, but I do hope that you will sit down and listen to what's going on with my life, why this has all started, what's really going on behind the scenes with me, and to hopefully stop you from continuing with this operation against me and to correct any lies and all the lies that have been said about me, even the ones from my mother and my sister, okay? Because that's the only way these kind of operations are successful, is when they start these operations in the very beginning, which Mr. Snook told me in the very beginning when he started this, okay? He's a news journalist. He told me straight up, and all my friends at that time, this is back in like 2014, that he had just opened up a investigation on me. I've got a file now, and that he had started his investigation to start getting as much information about me as he could. And so that's what he did for the first couple years. He sent out his people and they started digging and finding out who I know, who my contacts are, what I do for a living, what my past is about, my family relationships, any and everything about my entire life. This man infiltrated and collected as much information as he could. And he sat down, and he contacted all my enemies, all the people that have a problem with me, which I have a lot of them, and I'll tell you why in the next video. And my family that I have broken relationships with. And so this is what started my situation when it comes to collecting anything and everything about me so they could start destroying me. Okay. So here we are. I don't even know how to start this. Okay, so why would the FBI, why would I make these people angry? Why do I have all these enemies? Very good question. Let's see, we're at 9, we're almost at 10 minutes. Okay, so my situation, and a lot of you who know me on Facebook, a lot of you who've been following me all these years, back in like 2009, when I first started learning about history and the government, and I started having an interest in what was going on within our politics, basically, through Ron Paul. Okay, we're at 10 minutes. Come back for the next video, and we'll start with the Ron Paul on part 2. Thanks for listening.